We are about to go live with a Pokemon Pearl speedrun with our boy Crafted. Do you want to introduce yourself in the run?
Yeah, I'm Crafted and this is Pokemon Pearl, any %, so gonna be some glitches going on.
Awesome, some glitches. We do like glitches here at UKSM 17. Now remember, we are trying to raise money for Médecins Sans Frontières, that is, Doctors Without Borders. So please, donate if you can, because they really need your cash. Are we ready to go?
Yep.
We are ready to go. Can I do a 3, 2, 1 countdown?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, start.
Alright, so the first thing I'm doing here is a bit of RNG manipulation. I've got to first start the game at a certain time. So... okay, so... and then when I get to the TV broadcast at the end of the intro sequence, I've got to press A on a very specific frame. And that will give me the RNG seed that I want. And what that's going to allow me to manipulate is my Chimchar's stats. So it has good IVs. IVs are like a random number assigned to each stat that determine how good each stat is. So it'll have good IVs, and it'll also have IVs that make it have Hidden Power Grass with a power of 66, because Hidden Power is a special move where the type and the power is based on your Pokemon's IVs. So I'm going to pick the girl because she's faster, because you get Lucas instead of Dawn as the professor's assistant, and Lucas talks less than Dawn does. So it's faster to pick the girl. So yeah, here I'm going to have to do the frame perfect input, and I've got like an external timer to do this because you can't really use an audio cue in the game because there's like loads of different audio tracks before you get to the right one. Alright, so now I'm going to check my ID and see if I got the right seed. Okay, so I was 1 frame early. So we'll try that again. So the first input when I'm starting the game is only 2nd perfect. But then... the 2nd input is based on when you do the first one. So if I started the game there like 2 frames later, I'd have to do the 2nd frame perfect input 2 frames later. So it's a little bit harder than frame perfect, but it's only 30 FPS, so it's not too bad. Because you got to kind of judge how late you did the first input. And I've got to get through this intro sequence pretty fast, otherwise I won't actually get to the frame in time. So hopefully this doesn't take too long to hit. But it does speed up the run a lot. Hidden Power Grass means you can just go to the straight to the first gym without evolving into Bonferno. Oh, whoops, press back. 1 frame early again, wow, okay. So yeah, I don't know if I said, but I can also manipulate the encounters that I get with this. And since I'm not going to be catching anything at all, I'll just be manipulating no encounters. And I'll be able to do this potentially all the way up to Eterna City if I get all the movement right. But you have to do perfect movement up until then. And the movement's not really difficult, it's just you have to do it for so long. There's a chance that you'll, like, you know, mess up at some point because there's just quite a lot of it. And there is one really difficult bit, because for quite a long time we could only manipulate up to just after the first gym badge, but very recently MK found a way to MK Dasher found a way to manipulate all the way up to the forest, so you can manipulate the spinning trainers as well. And yeah, MK Dasher is
the unsung hero of Pokemon.
Yeah.
He really is.
He found this RNG minute originally for Gen 4, and he also did the Hall of Fame path at the end, so the route through the void was found by him as well when I get to the end. Alright, I tried to go a bit later that time, so I kept being early. And that was too late.
It's a bit of a shame that you have so much manipulatable with this manip, so like half the run is required by it. So
Yeah.
There's no way of saving a nice backup save. It's just got
Yeah. Unless you had like another DS and you could like set it up. But the problem with like setting up a backup is if you set it up too early, if the hour goes over to the next hour before you get your Chimchar, then it will mess up. So I think that happened during SGDQ to Kizaron. He set up his backup too early and didn't work.
Sorry, he redeemed himself in UKSM 17.
Yes. Too early again. Damn. This trick's not easy. Hopefully doesn't take too many more tries.
Could I ask what the like average number of attempts are? If you know.
Like 2 to 3.
Oh.
It usually takes me.
Nothing like marathon.
Marathon execution.
I wouldn't be that mean. I'm saying that.
But yeah, trust me, this is all worth it to get a good Chimchar and no encounters. Right, I'm feeling good about this one. There we go, got it.
Hey!
So I set my options there, obviously like fast text speed and everything, turn all the animations off, and I also set L equals A, which is a really nice feature they have in this game and in Gen 3 as well. Sadly they took it out in Gen 5, but it allows you to mash with L as well as the other buttons. So alright, now I've got to take a really specific path. The specific path actually happens to be just go straight to Chimchar in this case. But for some manipulations, like the glitchless one, you have to do like a weird path to get the right Chimchar. But for this one, it's just go straight there. And so the RNG, like in Gen 5, like I said yesterday, this doesn't have like the IV RNG. It has the same thing as the PID RNG, which is where it advances. It advances when there's NPCs around. So like in this house, it doesn't advance, but out here it is advancing. So it didn't matter that I bonked in that house there, but it would matter if I'd taken like extra steps in the house. Even though the RNG is not advancing, every 128 steps. There's a step counter. The step counter advances the RNG by however many Pokemon you have in your party. So that would mess it up when I got to that point. But if I'd taken any extra steps, but a bonk doesn't count as an extra step, so I'm fine. And then, yeah, so I did all the movement right there. It's pretty simple for this run. Just literally goes straight to Chimchar and you get the correct one. But yeah, the movement will be weird after I get the running shoes and manipulate no encounters. You'll see some weird movement there.
So how perfect are the IVs that you manipulate?
I actually can't remember what exactly they are, but they obviously can't be perfect because one, it's impossible to find like a seed with a RNG frame low enough to get like perfect IVs, and then also because you want hidden power grass, so they have to be very specific. So ideally I get tackle, yep, that's good. If you get growl, you can sometimes still 2-hit, but with that first range I probably wouldn't have. And also you can fail to 2-hit even if you don't get growl, if you get really bad ranges. So it can go both ways there. And yeah, oh, I guess I didn't explain why I want hidden power grass. Well, I kind of did. For the first gym, because it's rock type, grass is obviously super effective. And then I choose grass over water or ground or whatever because the rival fight, he has a Piplup, so grass is good for that as well. And the reason why Chimchar is chosen is because he's just much faster than anything else for the start of the game. Empoleon is actually good like at the end of the game because you can get like choice specs and stuff, but he still isn't used for the glitchless run of this game because we can manipulate a lucky egg and give that to Chimchar. But yeah, Chimchar gets like a better stab move. Ember is like more powerful than Bubble, and he's like also faster and stuff, and good, much better against the second gym than Piplup. So yeah, the movement you'll see me doing will look a bit weird, but it's to get no encounters. And yeah, the aim of this run is pretty much just to get to the bike, because once you have the bike you can do the only useful glitch, which is tweaking. You can do tweaking without the bike, you can do them with the running shoes, but there's no useful running shoes tweaks in this game, and you can't get into the void with a running shoes tweak, and we need to get into the void to get to the end. So yeah, just the whole aim of the run is just to get to the bike.
Is it Heart Gold, Soul Silver that has the usual running shoes tweaks?
Yeah, because basically the running tweaks unload sprites, so you use it in Heart Gold and Soul Silver to unload a rocket in front of the Slowpoke well, and also to unload a trainer on another route as well. In this game there's a couple of places where it's like looks like a running tweak might work to unload things, like the cut bushes in front of the Galactic hideout. It would be nice if you could use a running tweak to unload them, and you can, but then it creates an invisible wall that you can't get past, so you can't actually get inside the hideout.
So what you're saying is Pearl needs barrier skin.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
And it was funny, I think Tyrant tested it, and he had walk through walls on, so he didn't realise there was an invisible wall, and he thought he'd found like a new trick. Alright, so this may well be the only Mart trip of the run. If I can get all of the nip, I won't have to buy repels. So I'm going to get some potions, antidote, and a paralyze heal. So here I'm actually going to be going through more grass than necessary. Sometimes you need to do that to manip no encounters. It's a bit counterintuitive, but so yeah, the beginning of this game is pretty slow. You have to go through all these cutscenes and stuff, getting these useless items like the journal and stuff. So yeah, most of the time during text boxes the RNG isn't advancing, which is useful because then we don't have to mash frame perfectly through them. But after this catching tutorial there's going to be a few text boxes where the RNG is advancing, so I've got to mash really fast through them. I've got a decent window to get through, so I don't have to do it frame perfectly, but I do have to do it pretty fast. And then I'm going to reload the route. This makes it consistent. It's hard to explain why, but it just does, so got to do that. And in this catching tutorial, the only thing you can speed up is them using the moves. You can't speed up using the Pokeball or anything. It's the same in Y2. You can't speed up. You can only speed up using the moves. So alright, here I've got a mash. I didn't see many triangles there, so that's good.
There's a lot of text boxes.
So I did kind of stop for a second there accidentally, but that's not going to affect the manip at all because it's not enough time to advance it before I entered back into the route again. Okay, so this is the first trainer fight of the game, and it's pretty bad. It's one of the hardest fights actually in the game because this Starly does a lot of damage, especially when it crits. Tackle doesn't do too much. Okay, there's the crit. Quick attack crit does even more, so don't crit here. Okay. Quick attack crit does like 13 or 14. So I can't really play it safe and heal when I'm in range to die to a crit, or I'd be healing pretty much every turn. Because like, now he can kill me with a crit. Because even though he only does 6 with a regular attack, because of how the damage formula works, he does like 14 with a crit. So that was a pretty bad fight, but I didn't die, so I'll definitely take it. That fight pretty much determines how good your early game is for this run, because the rest of the fights are pretty easy in the early game.
Do you mind if we pop in with a donation?
Yep, that's fine.
So of course we do indeed have 2 donations at the moment. One from Drakadan, who is in the room. His Undertale run is coming up after this one. He has donated £10 and says, "Greetings from the Marathon Room. First time attendee, first time runner. Best of luck on your run, Crafted. Kill all the Pokémon. Wait, that's my run." The second comes from Garfield the Lightning, also a £10 donation. He says, "Hi Crafted, I can't think of anything witty to say, but good luck. Good luck to Amoeba on his run tomorrow too. Not sure what a monkey ball runner is doing on the sofa, to be honest."
Just enjoying myself.
He does run Pokemon sometimes.
I've got a Let's Play.
Pretty fast Let's Play there. So since I'm in Blaze, which is Chimchar's ability, when he's at 1/3 or below his max health, his fire type moves are boosted by 1.5 times. So that there was a damage range and I got it. That was a 9 and 16. So here I'm actually talking to this trainer. It's faster to talk to them than walk in front of them, but usually when you're doing RNG Banip, you run in front of them because it's hard to talk to a trainer on the exact same frame every time. But for this Manip, it just happens that there's a big window of frames to talk to that trainer, so it's fine. And this Shinx, this is where it's good to be female, because this Shinx does 1 less damage because it has the ability, what is it, Rivalry or whatever, where it does more damage to Pokemon of the same gender. So I'm going to go to the trainer school. You have to go there to deliver the parcel, but I'm also going to go here because I'm going to fight those 2 trainers on the right there. Oh, I need to heal actually. I should do that in a second. Because if you beat them, they give you the hidden power TM. So they've got Abras that just have hidden power, and I think they've got like hidden power dark with like 70 power, which is the highest power. I think that's true. So they do a lot. They do a lot of damage, especially if they crit. That one I can't finish with Ember, but I'll finish the next Abra with Ember, because Ember has one less letter than Scratch. But the reason I don't Ember the first turn is because it can burn, and burn would just waste time.
So every single character in the text box is a frame. So by Embering, you are literally saving the frame.
Yeah. There we go, save that frame. I can Ember the other one if I was in Blaze, but I wasn't. So yeah, that's the hidden power TM. I'm going to teach it straight away, because it's useful for the next fight. And as I said before, it's grass type with power 66. The highest power you can get is 70, but having 66 makes no difference to 70, because you're just low level, so it matters less. Don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So here I'm gonna have to talk to these clowns while the RNG is advancing. So since it's hard to talk to them on the same frame, because I loaded the NPCs at the same time, they'll move at the same time. So what I can do is bonk into them in order to like line up my RNG again. So I'm gonna do it once here, bonk into that guy. Oh dear. Okay, I will still be able to get to him, but that will mess up my step counter. Oh, okay, I don't know. I might not be able to manipulate past here, but we'll see.
Sometimes it might line up just nicely, even though
Yeah, but my step counter will still be wrong though. So when that ticks over, it will. But there's not too much more to go before I can buy repels. Growl. That's unfortunate because I want to scratch his Piplup on the first turn because he doesn't die to one hidden power, and when you get his Piplup to low health, he like comes out and speaks like he just did there. But unfortunately, because he growled, scratch plus hidden power is going to be a damage range, so I'm just going to hidden power, and then that'll bring him to low HP, so he will come out and talk, unless I get a critical. That'll be nice. Nope. Yeah, see, he says his HP is low or whatever. And then after this fight, it's the same thing as the catching tutorial, where the RNG is advancing during his text boxes, and to line up the RNG again, instead of reloading the route, I'm going to use an NPC like I did in the town, but this might not work because I kind of messed up. Yeah, no, that's wrong. Okay. We might get some encounters then. Okay, no encounters there. Alright, I just run in front of this guy. It's faster to talk to him, but then I have to go through more steps where I can get encounters, so I'll just run in front of him. Alright, okay, no encounters there. Who needs RNG minute? Maybe I am just RNG manipulating and I've fooled you all.
It's the new path you're now debuting in the middle of America.
Still none.
Oh, you can get encounters in here.
Yep, there we go. After this I can buy repels though, so just got to get through this cave. Yeah, I messed up a really stupid place, which is what always happens with RNG Minute. You always mess it up in a really dumb place and do all the hard stuff, right?
Pressure there. It's not necessarily anything specifically difficult for that one to be that perfect. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, because in this game it's literally the first 40 minutes of the run. Perfect movement. And you basically, yeah, you got to do that to get the record now, I think. Do all that movement.
Your 57 got the extended minutes, didn't it?
Yeah, got it all the way.
If anybody's been paying attention to this category, with the recent extended minute find, there's been a bit of a battle between Crafted and Worcester. One took the record, I think Worcester took the record and then you tied it. And
Yeah.
beat it.
That was a crazy day. Worcester,
Oh, it was all in a day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was all in a
he
second
beat
day.
my run, then I tied it, and then I beat it again. And then a few days later I got a 57-minute run, which was a very good run. So I don't think I'll try and beat that. Alright, so time for Rourke, and he can kill me, but it's really unlikely. I haven't talked about the AI yet in this game, but it's just completely random. Like, there's no AI at all, they just use random moves, apart from in double battles. But in all single battles, even the champion, she just uses random moves. So the only way I can die here is if he decides to use Headbutt, which is a 1 in 3, because he's got 3 moves, and he criticals, and I don't critical. So it's very unlikely I'll die. But it would be a pretty costly death, because I'd go all the way back to why can't I think of the town, the first town? Why can't I remember the first? Like the very beginning town. Like, whatever the town you started is, I can't remember. Why am I forgetting this? Twinleaf town.
Twinleaf.
That's it, yeah. Oh yeah, so Lear, that's perfect. I don't know how I forgot what the first town is.
Crafted, why didn't you know this game?
I just kept thinking of Littleroot and New Barktown for some reason.
Gentry is the best.
Maybe.
I don't think you. I sense that you don't agree with me then.
Gen 3 has the best battle frontier, I'll give you that.
Shout out to Warras for just not bringing that back at all.
Shout outs to Worcester for doing a run of the whole battle tower, the whole battle frontier.
That was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, the last text box for when you're talking to someone, you want to clear it with whichever direction you're going in. So it skips the animation of you turning around. Saves like 8 frames, I think. So here I'm going to buy repels. If I got the minute all the way to here, I wouldn't have to buy these repels. I could just manip, no encounters. So that would save like 17 seconds I think it is to skip buying repels. Now this fight was, after this fight there's like 2 cutscenes, and this is what was stopping us manipulating past here before, because a guy gives you a fashion case, and when he gives you that fashion case, the RNG advances like a load of times, and it's really hard to be on the same frame when you get the fashion case, so you can predict what it will advance to. So for a long time we couldn't manipulate past here. And then you also have to leave the city on the exact same frame as well, so you have to find 2 windows.
So how is it you're able to do it now? Is it just you managed to find the window?
Yeah, MK found like the 2 necessary windows. I think that it's like a, what is it, like a 20 or 19 frame window, where like if you mash too fast, so if you mash perfectly it won't work, you have to be 9 frames too slow, and you have to be in between like 9 and 29 frames or something with your mashing.
There's just enough leeway to do it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
there's enough leeway to get it pretty consistently enough. So here I'm going to evolve, and I'm going to teach Mach Punch. Usually, like in an actual run of this, you wouldn't teach Mach Punch because it only helps for 1 fight, but for safety I'll teach it. Actually, that's a lie, it does help with more than 1 fight. So I'll teach it. Because it actually has the same power as Rock Smash, but it has priority, which is the helpful thing about it. But Rock Smash has a 50% chance of dropping defense, so Rock Smash is pretty good, and obviously you need to teach Rock Smash to get past the rocks. And that's, oh yeah, that's another reason why Chimchar's good for this run, because it can learn the 2 required HMs, so you don't have to catch anything else. It can learn Rock Smash and Cut. So coming up is the first spinner. There's 4 in this run. Spinners just like spin in random directions. So that's the first one. Here's the second one. Gotta pass her twice. Ah, well.
Does bag manipulation not exist? You don't thought?
No, it doesn't reset their counter. Pausing does like stop them, but it doesn't reset their like spinning counter to 0. Oh, I forgot Mach Punch was there. Okay, because yeah, later you teach Flame Wheel in that slot, so I was thinking that was Flame Wheel. Yeah, if you get the manip all the way to here, you can manipulate these spinners as well. But the movement to get past this one when you're manipulating is actually like the hardest movement in the whole thing. You have to go up next to her and then walk for 2 tiles and then run for 2 tiles and then walk for 1 tile and then run again. So it's not the easiest thing. So Pecha Berry here. Mars's Zubat has Toxic, so which is very bad. So the Pecha Berry cures that. And I actually bought an antidote earlier as well, just in case he poisons me twice, because he gets 2 turns usually. And I'm at full health, which is nice because Rourke just used Leer, so I'm not going to have to heal before Mars. And I won't save because I've got Mag Punch, so, and I've got the antidote, so there's like no way I'll lose. I think they upgraded these grunts in Platinum, gave them like Stunky or something, so they're a bit better. Nice critical there. I keep forgetting that I have L equals A because you don't have it in White 2. And then when I play White 2, I mash L and it doesn't do anything. Yeah, he gives you a free honey there. That's actually useful that he does in the glitchless run, because you do a manipulation for a lucky egg on a Chansey and you use that honey. But in this run, you don't need it. So Mag Punch is going to help out for this fight, because this Glameow has Fake Out. So normally, and because they Fake Out and Mag Punch both have +1 priority, it means whoever's faster will go first, which is me. Normally you have to Rock Smash that, and you might get Fake Out. Because of the AI though, it's just random whether you get it or not.
It seems strange that they include AIs for Fake Out.
Yeah, there's just... well, I think... I don't know if it can use it not on the first turn, but it's not guaranteed on the first turn. So...
good game.
So here's the 3rd spinner. I'm going to equip the Pecha Berry. Then I just ran 1 tile before him there. That's because if you run next to a spinner, they look in the direction. So by running next to him, that forced him to look left. Then I just did a pause just to check that I did it right, and then I went. So this Zubat has Toxic, which is why I have the Petra Berry and the Antidote. And yeah, it will probably get 2 turns, unless I get really good damage ranges. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, there's the Toxic. So I might be able to get it in 2. Not quite. But he didn't use Toxic again, so I don't have to heal that. And then on this Perugly, I'm going to use Rock Smash first. Hopefully I get the defense drop. If I don't, I'm going to have to Leer. Because this Perugly has like a berry, so you don't want to put it below half health if you can, so it doesn't activate the berry. And Rock Smash will do like just under half, and then with the defense drop, it will finish it off. So defense drop, and I didn't get it, so I'll Leer. See, he just uses feint attack, even though it's not very effective because just random AI. And then Mach Punch is helpful here because I can outspeed it. But I wasn't in any danger anyway because he did nothing. He has Scratch, which does like 13. Just decided not to use it. Oh, and he also has Fake Out and didn't decide to use it, so that's nice. So coming up to the final and worst spinner to hit. Didn't really need to heal that, but the next fight is really annoying, so... Oh my... I paused there, and then he actually spun before I paused, but I didn't notice in time. So yeah, this guy's pretty bad. Leer. Because I can't want to hit him. Ah, defense good. Alright, I'll just critical. Yeah, this fight is really slow because you don't one-hit anything. Well, you one-hit one thing. And yeah, the battle engine in this game is like the slowest in any game. So extra fights in this game are really bad. Yeah, Platinum was definitely faster. Because Platinum, the run is the same speed, but then you do the whole of Distortion World and stuff. So
you can complete both games at the same time.
Yeah.
The surfing as well. What?
Yeah, the surfing is at running speed instead of walking speed, like in this game. This does give me the benefit of getting Flame Wheel before Pachirisu though, which is really helpful because Pachirisu is very annoying. It has Spark, which can paralyze you, and that's really annoying. And I've been paralyzed 5 times in a row before on Pachirisu, when it's only 25% to get paralyzed.
We have a new donation, like you've got the time for it.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, the donation was from Ozota, who's currently downstairs in the building. He donated £1. His donation message was, Sai was complaining of having nothing to do. This is a lie.
Alright, I won't save for this because I'll just win. Everything will go well. I mean, I've got Flame Wheel, so it's much easier than with Ember. Well, I will get Flame Wheel by the time I want to kill Pachirisu. So the worst thing that can happen here... Oh, that's really good. The worst thing that can happen here is I get Spark from Pachirisu and Paralysed on the first turn, because it means when Beautifly comes out, it will outspeed me, and Beautifly does a lot of damage with Gust, and as I mentioned earlier, there's no AI in this game apart from in double battles. So the Beautifly almost always uses Gust, which does a lot. So I'm very glad Pachirisu used Bide there, because I can just use those turns to KO everything on the right, and once I've KO'd this Cascoon, I'll learn Flame Wheel, I think. And if Chansey keeps up these Egg Bombs, I can one-hit Pachirisu. And Bide in this game is actually +1 priority, which I didn't know when I first started running this game. I think it's Gen 4 and onwards. It is.
No idea that is.
Yeah. So here I'm going to learn Flame Wheel, and I'm going to keep Ember though. This is just because in the gym coming up, there's one Pokemon where it dies to Ember, and Ember is a shorter name than Flame Wheel. So I'm going to keep Ember for that one Pokemon. And also, if I got into Blaze after the gym, which almost never happens, I could use it after that as well. But that's very unlikely. You have to get crit by Gardenia for that to happen. So yeah, in that last fight, there was good cooperation from Chansey there, egg bombing the Pachirisu. Hopefully it decides to ember these, I'm going to ember them, but hopefully it decides to egg bomb these Abras here. Finish them off. It's better if they attack me because it's not super effective on me, but no, they're just going to attack Chansey. Ah, let me down. He's probably going to soft world now because he's taken that damage. But come on, Egg Bomb. They keep attacking him. Yeah.
So ideally you choose Egg Bomb, Ember.
Yeah. I think in my PB I actually crit the first Abra, and then he hit the second one with Egg Bomb, and then I finished that off. So it was like, yeah, I don't think I'll try and beat that run. Only bad thing was the Gardenia fight, and that was very funny. So. So here I'm going to avoid grass, even though I've got repel up, because there's like lag in the grass, because this game's really laggy, so I avoid it. And now we're almost at the part where we can get the bike. There's the bike shop right there, but we can't get a bike yet because the bike shop owners got kidnapped by Team Galactic. But we can't get to Team Galactic because their hideout is behind a cut bush. So we've got to beat this gym in order to be able to use cut and get to Team Galactic. And this gym's pretty boring. I'm just going to flame wheel anything. So if you've got any like donations or any questions, then it's a good time.
No donations at the moment. And no questions at the moment.
Alright. So yeah, just flame wheel everything here. There's one thing, as I said, I can ember to save those few frames. Yeah, you just get this weird puzzle where you have to find the trainers. They're kind of a bit hidden. And then they give you clues about where the next one is. But you can imagine this gym would be bad for Piplup, because it's water type, and you can get Pluck, which is pretty good, but not Stab or anything. So, and here's the one thing that I can Ember. So I saved what, 6 frames doing that. Turtwig is not good at all. I did.
Is it Chikorita level or?
I think Chikorita might be better. But no, Turtwig, I did look into a route where I would, this was for glitchless, where I would catch a Machop and then do the trade for the Abra early on and then use Abra, and I think that route would have used Turtwig at the start, possibly, because he's really quick at beating the rival without hidden power, because you'd be against Chimchar and that has really bad defense, so it goes down like 4 hits to tackle or something. So if you're doing the very, very start of the game without hidden power, Turtwig is better. Possibly. I never actually tested it properly, but possibly in theory. So on this fight, I don't one-hit everything. The Turtwig is a 15 and 16 range, and funny thing, I actually missed it in my PB, and it used Reflect, so that was going to be really bad. It was going to cost me like 5 turns, but I ended up critting the Rose Raid, so it actually only cost me 1 turn, so that was pretty funny. Yeah, so this is a 15 and 16 range. Yeah, got it. Not expecting to miss that, but
It's only critical.
yeah. and then this doesn't go down to 1 hit, so I'm going to leer it first. If I attack it, I'll put it in range for its berry to activate, so it's faster just to leer. Magical Leaf. This also has Stun Spore and Poison Powder, which is... I bought the Paralyze Heal for the Stun Spore, and then I've got the antidote for the Poison Powder, but in this game, Poison wears off when you get to 1 HP, so if I just ran around for a bit, it would wear off when I got to 1 HP. And that's only in Gen 4, because in Gen 5 they changed it so Poison doesn't affect you outside of battle at all. But I think they made it leave you at 1 HP in this because in like previous gens it was used to like break the game and stuff. If you ran out of Pokemon when to Poison, you could do glitches with that. Okay, so now I've beaten that gym, I can go and take down Team Galactic and rescue the bike shop owner, so I can get that bike. And Chimchar learns Cut, so that's... don't need to catch anything else. Learns the 2 required HMs. And I will delete Ember here. If I was in Blaze, I would do a strat where I would keep Ember and delete Leer, and then on the Skunk Tank fight, I would use Ember and then Flame Wheel. But instead, because I'm not in Blaze, I'll go Ember and then Leer and then Flame Wheel, in kind of a similar way to Perugly to avoid the berry.
We've got another donation if you've got time for us to read.
Yeah, this is a good time.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we've got a donation from Danny, who is in the room. It's a £5 donation. They say, well hey, can't think of anything funny to say. Happy birthday, I guess. On that note, would you like any water? Or?
Yes please. This Glameow has Fake Out, so it's nice I didn't use it. I don't have Mach Punch anymore, so I can't avoid that. Yeah, this is just the same thing as the gym, just Flame Wheel everything. In Platinum you actually don't have to fight anyone before the commander at the top, but in this game you have to fight like 4 trainers.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, would you like?
Thanks. If the Skunk Tank hits me into Blaze, that would be really nice, but I think it would have to get a crit from here to do that. Now I could cut these bug Pokemon and save the super effective text, but Cut can miss, and they have Poison Sting, which can poison, so I'd rather not take that risk. Alright, so we're almost at the final boss of the game.
Yeah, I've got to say, for a glitched run, there's not been that many glitches.
Yeah. Like, all the glitches are in a space of like a minute. You just do them all. You do 4 tweaks in like a minute. Alright, so this is the final boss. It's not Cynthia, it's Commander Jupiter. I think it might be possible to miss the range here, but I don't think I ever have. Yeah. It's probably a 15 and 16. Or it might be guaranteed. So here I'm going to Flame Wheel. If it hits me into Blaze, that would be perfect. I crit, okay. See, that's going to activate his berry, but then I can kill it this turn. So, that's alright. Another crit. Okay, so now I can finally get the bike, which is what the whole aim of the run is. And so what I'm going to be doing is a glitch called tweaking, where I basically go across the load lines of the map really fast, because this game's made up of like 32 by 32 grids, and then those are split into 16 by 16 grids, and by going over the lines really fast, it messes up the game because it can't load the map fast enough. And oh, I have to get the Explorer kit here, otherwise you can't leave the city. Yeah, you pass over, like you couldn't tweak by accident, or it's very unlikely that you'd tweak by accident. So finally get the bicycle, and we don't even need to use the menu to use it, because we can just use this blue post. Shout outs to Garfield, he found that strat of using that post. Alright, so here I'm going to do some tweaking. Oh wait, I'm going to save and reset. I've got to do this at some point, and I'm just going to do it now because if I mess up the tweaks I can just reload the game.
Have we got an ETA?
Like 5 minutes or less or something, not very long.
But you haven't done any great glitches.
Wait a second.
You've built up these glitches, I hope they're good.
Alright, here we go. Oh. Nice, okay, I forgot she would be loaded like that because I saved in a different place. Yeah, okay. I did the tweak there, but then I ran into the trainer. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to wait for her this time. There we go. So that's one tweak, and then that's the second tweak. and then oh, I've got to be. Is that right? Yep. Okay. So those 3 tweaks there, that was to skip the cutscene with. Yeah. So that was to skip the cutscene with Lucas, where he gives you like the versus seeker and stuff at the bottom. And now I need to get into the void, and I have to do this in Jubilife. You can get into the void in Oreburg, but for some reason this Hall of Fame route only works in Jubilife. I don't know why. Ask MK Dasher. He found this. Ooh. And there we go. So that tweak is going to allow me to get to. Oh, whoops. Need to go here, and then reload the map here, and then I can go through the door backwards, and then end up outside, but still inside. So this is what's called the void, and this means you can go anywhere you want basically once you're in the void. So I'm going to go straight to the end, obviously. And to get straight to the end, obviously first you have to go to Vilestone Store and save. And the reason you have to do this is because when you save and reload, the void is loaded in a different way. So by doing this, it's loaded in a different way. It's complicated, but now I'm in the Pokemon League. There we go. It's hard to explain, but the game saves your location and your coordinates, and obviously your coordinates are messed up because you're in the void. So there we go. I'm in the Pokemon League. I'm going to save and reset again.
Basically, if you've got questions, ask MK Dasher.
Yeah, ask MK Dasher. Because this void path used to be about 4 minutes longer until earlier this year MK found a faster path. So time will be coming up soon. This is the Hall of Fame. The lights are off though, but trust me, this is it. And time.
Would you like to know your time?
Yep.
It was 1 hour 12:08. Of course, that'd be more like 1:02 if it weren't for all of the fails at the beginning, but you know, still pretty not bad.
Okay.
Okay. Is that what we're getting? Is that your final word? Okay. So with that brings us to the end of Pokemon Pearl, where we saw Craft did not quite catch them all, but kill them all, which segues nicely into our next run, which is Undertale, Genocide %. So please, tune back in for that in about 20 or so minutes. Please come back. We will be having music on in the background up until that point, and we will be starting it dead on the time that is set in the schedule. You can see it down below. For now, listen to some music.